The following program is produced by Michael Ray Helms and Jen Hebben under the direction of executive producer Marty Grote and the board of All Ears Theater, with funding provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation and an anonymous donor. All Ears Theater. America has become a country of lawyers, with everyone suing everyone else at the drop of a hat. Did you ever stop to think what might happen to a beloved character like Santa Claus if he got caught up in the hyper-litigious climate that is America today? Well, gentle listener, you are about to find out in Santa Suit. Featured in tonight's cast are Ron Centers, Glynis Fenn, Tim Hill, Ishmael Klein, Richard Philpott, and Michael Waldschlager II.
Let's see, Bernard Wolverhampton, naughty or nice? I think he was... Go away!
Santa?
Franken? Fizbin? Oh, you darned elves, leave me alone. Can't you see I'm busy?
But Santa, you said that you wanted to see the specs on the new sled the minute they were ready.
I know what I said, but can't you two use a little common sense? 2 days before Christmas Eve, and you want me to drop everything and go over sled specs? Come back on the 26th, and then we'll talk.
Oh, okay, Santa. We'll go back to the workshop and help the other elves.
Oh, hold on a minute. Prankin, you go back to the workshop and see if you can light a fire under the rest of those boys. They're way behind schedule. Fizbin, I want you to go out to the stables and check on Prancer. I hear he's been hitting the sauce again, and I'm going to need him to be straight if we're going to make all the deliveries on Christmas Eve.
You got it, boss.
All right, now get out of here, the both of you, and let me get back to work.
Okay, Santa.
Now maybe I can get something done. Let's see, where was I now? Oh, jumping anaconda. Stella! Stella, there's someone at the door.
So answer it.
Better half my Aunt Fanny. I'm never going to get this list finished. Yeah?
Sanford Claus,
Yeah? What do you want?
got an early Christmas present for you. Here.
What's this?
It's a subpoena. You've just been served, fat boy. Bye.
Subpoena? Subpoena? Why would someone want to give me a subpoena? Stella! Stella!
What is it, Sam? I'm never going to get all that gingerbread baked if you keep interrupting me all the time.
Stella, some guy just came to the door and gave me a subpoena.
What are you talking about? Let me see that.
Here.
North Pole Municipal Court. Plaintiff Timmy Smith. Defendant Sanford Claus. Charges breach of contract and mental distress?
Breach of contract? I don't understand. And I don't know any Timmy Smith.
Oh, shut up. I'm trying to read. It says here that this kid asked you for a toy truck for Christmas last year, and you brought him underwear instead. He's suing you.
Over underwear? That's crazy.
Well, crazy or not, you have to surrender yourself to the court at 9:30 tomorrow morning to be arraigned.
Tomorrow? I can't go tomorrow. I've got deliveries.
Well, if you don't, it says here that you will be held in contempt of court, and they will throw your ample behind in jail.
Oh, Stella, what am I going to do?
I'm going to make a few calls and see if we can get you a cheap lawyer on short notice. And come 9:30 tomorrow morning, you are going to be in that courtroom.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. The Municipal Court of the North Pole is now in session. The Honorable Bulstrode T. Cockenlocker presiding. All rise.
Be seated. Bailiff, first case.
Docket number 1653, arraignment. Plaintiff Timmy Smith versus Santa Claus, a.k.a. Sanford Claus, a.k.a. Christopher Kringle, a.k.a. Père Noel, a.k.a. Nicholas Santos, a.k.a. Santa Claus, a.k.a. Father Christmas.
These are all the same guy. Is the defendant present?
Here, Your Honor.
Is the defendant represented by counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. Darren Sclero, attorney at law.
Your Honor, I'd like to explain the charges that have been brought.
Mr. Claus, you are out of order. This is only an arraignment to determine if there is sufficient evidence to proceed to trial. Sit down.
Yes, sir.
Bailiff, read the charges.
Your Honor, the plaintiff, Timmy Smith, alleges that on December 22 of last year, when visiting the store Santa at Schlepinger's department store, he was promised a toy truck for Christmas. When Christmas Day arrived, there was no toy truck under his pathetic little tree, but rather 2 pair of cheap underwear with faulty stitching yet. The plaintiff is suing the defendant for breach of contract and mental distress in the sum of $38 million in damages.
The $38 million? I can't afford that. I'll be ruined.
Mr. Claus, one more outburst from you, and I will hold you in contempt of court.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Is the plaintiff present?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are?
Attorney for the plaintiff, Your Honor, Eustace Rothschild Vanderbilt II. I normally don't take on cases of this sort, but when I heard the heart-rending story of this tiny little waif, I volunteered my services pro bono.
Will you look at the beak on that guy?
Hush! That's the famous Vanderbilt nose.
Will the plaintiff please approach the bench? Now, you're Timmy Smith.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Timmy, do you know the difference between telling the truth and telling a fib?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Telling a fib is a bad thing.
That's right. Now, son, I want you to tell me your story. Why are you here today?
Well, Your Honor, I live in Poor Town, and last year, a few days before Christmas, I asked my mummy if I could have a toy truck. I don't have any other toys, but I saw this one in the store window, and it was ever so nice. Mummy told me that we were so poor that she wouldn't be able to afford to get me any Christmas presents that year.
How sad. Sad. And what about your father?
I haven't got a daddy, Your Honor.
Poor child. Please, go on.
Mummy said that I should go see the Santa at Schlepinger's store and ask him for my truck. She said that Santa never let a little kid like me down.
And what happened then, Timmy?
Then, on Christmas morning, there was one package under our tiny little tree. I rushed over to open it, and it was 2 pairs of off-brand underwear. I thought my little heart would break.
Reprehensible. It is more than obvious that there is sufficient evidence for this case to proceed to trial.
Your Honor, it is common knowledge that the defendant has a flying sleigh and reindeer, and I make a motion that he be considered a flight risk.
Granted. Granted. Because of the potential for flight, this court orders the defendant to be held in the Holly Jolly Jail pending the trial. Trial date is to be December 26th at 10 a.m. Court is adjourned.
Well, that's it. I'm cooked. I'm going to be in jail on Christmas Eve. How am I going to make my deliveries now?
Don't panic, Sam. We'll work something out. But I think something fishy is going on here. Did you see the fingernails on that kid? I would swear it looks like he had a manicure. Now, how does a kid from Poor Town afford a manicure? I would swear he had a nose job, too. And what about that lawyer? No way an expensive ambulance chaser like that is going to work for free.
Manicures. I'm about to lose my business and go up the river, and she talks about manicures. Stella, what am I going to do?
You're going to go to your cell. I'm going back to the workshop and try to figure out a way to get you out of this mess. Hello, Prankin, Fizbin.
Mrs. Claus, how did it go in court?
Not so good. They're holding Sam in jail pending the trial.
Santa's in jail? What are we going to do? Who's going to make the deliveries?
Well, I've been thinking about that on my way back from the courthouse. I'm going to make the deliveries this year.
You? But Mrs. C, you've never made deliveries before.
Look, you two, Rudolph takes care of the flying. The whole route is on the GPS, and all the deliveries are on spreadsheets. All I have to do is lay my finger on the side of my nose and go, ho, 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 once in a while. I think I can handle that.
You're the boss now, Mrs. C. We'll go and finish loading the sleigh.
I've got a special assignment for you two. If we're ever going to get Santa off, we've got to find out what's really going on with that kid who's suing him. Something ain't kosher about that brat, and I want you two to find out what. And if you can't crack the kid, try the lawyer. He's more crooked than a room full of corkscrews. You can get all the info you need from these copies of the arraignment papers.
Okay, Mrs. Claus, we'll do our best.
You'd better. Now, I'm going to read the riot act to the rest of the elves and get this show on the road.
Well, we'd better get going. Let's see. The kid, Timmy Smith, lives at 124 Derelict Avenue in Port Town, USA. How can we find the soonest flight?
Soonest flight? What do you mean, soonest flight? We're elves. We'll just use magic.
Yeah, well...
Don't tell me you don't know how to travel by magic. What level elf are you, anyway?
I just never learned. I do know how to wrinkle my nose and wiggle my ears.
Big deal. Well, hold my hand, and I'll get us there with magic. What was the address of that kid again?
124 Derelict Avenue, Port Town.
Okay, here we go.
Boy, this place is depressing.
What'd you expect with a name like Port Town?
Is this the right address?
124 Derelict Avenue. That's 122 over there, and 126 on the other side. This is it.
But this is just a vacant lot.
I can see that. I've got eyes too, you know. The kid must have given a bogus address.
So what do we do now? Should we try to find the lawyer?
That's all we can do. Do you have the address?
Oh, let's see. Here it is. Eustace Rothschild Vanderbilt II, 1385 Rockefeller Way, Richville. Could you get us there?
Of course I can. I know magic.
Stop rubbing it in. We've got to save Santa Claus. Can you just imagine him sitting there in jail all alone?
Knock it off! 41144.
Oh, great. Can't even play my tunes. How am I supposed to pass the time, you lousy bull?
I don't care how you pass the time, as long as you do it quietly. Understand?
Yeah.
By the way, you got a visitor.
Stella!
Sam!
You got 5 minutes.
Oh, Stella, it's so good to see you. How are things on the outside?
You've only been in jail for a day, Sam. Don't make yourself out to be Jimmy Cagney.
Yes, dear. So how are things going?
As well as can be expected. The elves are all busy loading the sleigh as we speak.
So who did you get to take over the route?
I'm going to make the deliveries.
What? You? No, not the way you drive. Besides, you don't even look like Santa Claus.
Relax, Sam. I'll be fine. I'll pad myself, put on a fake beard, and no one will be any the wiser.
But no. Really? You?
Oh, quit your sputtering. It's a done deal, so you might as well shut up and like it.
I'll shut up, but I won't like it. Anything new with my case? What does the lawyer say?
Oh, that lawyer is worthless. He couldn't get Tiny Tim off with a jury full of nuns. That's why I'm taking my own steps to find out what the real deal is behind that kid who's suing you.
So what are you doing?
I've got Prankin and Fizbin doing some snooping to see what they can find out about Mr. Timmy Smith.
Oh, those two morons? Oh, I'm as good as dead. Those two couldn't track down a roast duck at 10 paces.
You had better hope that they have more on the ball than you think. Because if they don't find out something that helps you, you're going to be taking a long vacation, courtesy of the state.
Well, when you put it like that, I can see your point. I wonder how they're making out.
Wow, Wow, this house is huge. Are you sure it's not an apartment building?
Nope, this is Lawyer Vanderbilt's place, all right. Let's become invisible, and then we can sneak inside and look around.
Oh.
Don't tell me you don't know how to make yourself invisible either. How old are you anyway?
512.
512, and you still don't know basic magic.
My parents were progressive. They didn't believe in a traditional education.
Well, this is a fine time to let me know.
Oh, come on. Let's look through the windows and see if we can find the lawyer.
Okay, but keep holding my hand so you'll be invisible too.
Right. Wait, there he is.
Yeah, and look who's with him. If that's not little Timmy Smith, I'm a bowl of rice pilaf.
What do you think is going on?
I don't know. And look at the way Timmy is dressed. That's a pretty ritzy outfit for a kid from Poor Town.
We've got to get inside and hear what they're saying.
Well, let's see if we can get in through the side window. Be quiet now. So how long do you think the trial will last, Daddykins?
Not long, Junior. Once I get that fat flyboy on the stand, I'll cut him into mincemeat. Then I'll put you on the stand, Junior. Once you give the judge a load of those spaniel eyes, it'll be all over but the shouting.
And then we'll go 50-50 when we take over Santa's workshop, right?
Right. When Santa can't pay the damages after we win, the court will put Santa's workshop up for auction. I'll pack the auction crowd with our own people, and we'll get the whole shebang for a song.
Well, it can't happen too soon for me. This Timmy Smith gag is getting real old real fast.
I know, but just keep thinking of the payoff. That should make it easier.
What's going on here?
Can't you see? Timmy Smith is really Eustace Rothschild Vanderbilt's son. And they cooked up this whole scheme to take over Santa's operation.
We've got to stop them. Come on, let's go tell the judge what they're really doing.
Hold on, numbnut. We've got to have evidence to show to the judge. He's not going to believe all this just on our say-so.
But what can we get that we can use as evidence?
I wonder what those papers are that Vanderbilt is holding. Maybe that's something we can use. Let's get a little closer. Daddykins, don't you think it's risky waving around that list of the actors we hired to be witnesses? Wouldn't it be better to put them back in the safe with the other papers?
I'll put it back as soon as I'm done with it.
I've got an idea. Grab some paper from that table over there. Be careful. Don't let them see you.
Here, what are you going to do with it?
Watch. I'm going to make a little fold like this.
Uh-huh.
And this.
Okay.
See? And then it's just about the same size and shape as the papers he's holding.
Okay.
Now you sneak over to the light switch. When you kill the lights, I'll grab the papers from Vanderbilt and slip him the ones I just folded.
Oh, got it.
Now you go to the switch. Don't let him see you. And give me the count of 3 to get into position before you turn out the lights. You ready? Go.
1, 2, 3.
Daddykins, why'd you turn out the lights?
I was going to ask you the same thing. Where's that light switch? Oh! I found the table.
I'll get the lights. So what was that all about?
Something's funny going on here. I'm going to put these papers back in the safe before anything else happens.
Good idea. I wish I'd thought of that. We need to think about getting back to the North Pole for the trial anyway. I've got to change back into my rags.
I'll text the helipad to be ready.
And by this time next week, we'll be in complete control of Santa's workshop. Oh boy, just think of the prices we can charge.
Quit drooling, Junior. Let's get going.
Fizbin, are you still invisible? Where are you?
I'm right here.
Ah! Did you get the papers?
Yep, and I found some more in the safe. Now all we have to do is show these to the judge. Let's go.
Don't I have to hold your hand?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You don't know how to travel by magic. Are you sure you're really an elf?
Order.
Now then, Mrs. Smith, please tell the court your story in your own words.
Well, Your Honor, it was just a few days before Christmas last year. My dear little son Timmy came to me and said he would like to get a toy truck for Christmas. I looked into those big, trusting brown eyes, and my heart just about broke in two. It was hard, but I had to tell him that I could only barely afford our little hovel in Poor Town, and that I wouldn't be able to get him anything for Christmas. As the tears welled up in his little eyes, I had an idea. I told Timmy that if he asked Santa Claus for the toy, he would be sure to get it. A smile wreathed his angelic little face, and he asked where he could find Santa. Of course, I told him that Santa lives at the North Pole, but one of his representatives would be at Schleppenger's department store.
Ah, yes. And then what happened?
I dressed Timmy and myself in our best rags, and we went down to Schleppenger's. After waiting ever so long in the line, Timmy finally got to sit on Santa's lap and tell him his dream. Oh, if only we had known it would turn into such a tragedy.
There, Mrs. Smith. That's all, Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine?
No questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Mrs. Smith, and please take my handkerchief.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Keep it.
Oh, man.
The prosecution calls Myron Mellish to the stand.
Myron Mellish.
Mr. Mellish, please state your name and occupation for the court.
Myron Atherton Mellish. I am an actor.
And what was your employment during the holiday season of last year?
For the holiday season last year, I was employed by Schleppenger's department store, portraying the role of Santa Claus.
And do you recall meeting the defendant, Timmy Smith, in your professional capacity?
Yes, sir, indeed I do.
Please describe the encounter.
As I recall, it was a few days before Christmas, and the store was extremely busy. The line was quite long, and this little boy and his mother, dressed in the cleanest of rags, came up to me. The child was painfully thin, but with the most trusting look in his big brown eyes. He sat up on my lap and told me that his mommy couldn't afford to buy a present for him this Christmas and continue eating at the same time. Oh, my heart went out to the poor little waif.
Tragic. Please compose yourself and continue.
I told him that Santa Claus would bring him his toy on Christmas morning without fail.
Order. Order.
Thank you, Mr. Mellish. That will be all. Does the defense wish to cross-examine?
Thank you. Mr. Mellish, did little Timmy know that you weren't the real Santa Claus?
Oh, yes, sir. But it is common knowledge that Santa uses representatives such as myself as surrogates.
That will be all, Mr. Mellish.
You may step down.
The prosecution calls Sanford Claus to the stand.
Sanford Claus.
Mr. Claus, would you state your profession?
My profession? I'm Santa Claus. I bring toys to good girls and boys on Christmas Eve.
And how do you know what toys all these children would like for Christmas?
The children tell me.
I see. So they all troop up here to the North Pole and tell you individually what they want. Millions of children. That's quite a pilgrimage.
Well, no, they don't come here. Some of the kids write letters or send emails, but most of them just tell the store Santa what they want.
So the children tell the store Santa, and the store Santa then makes out a list and sends it to you here.
No, not really. Once the kids tell the store Santa, the item appears on the list here at our workshop. It's been that way for centuries. I think it's magic.
So there's no middleman. The request goes directly from the child to you.
Pretty much.
So if little Timmy Smith told the Santa at Schleppenger's that he wanted a toy truck for Christmas, why did you give him underwear?
Oh, no.
I don't know. I pulled all our delivery records from last Christmas, and I couldn't find anything about a delivery to Timmy Smith. He's just not in any of our files.
So, because you maintain such a slipshod system of record keeping, that poor boy suffers an irreversible trauma on Christmas morning.
But you said...
Your Honor, I submit that this person on the stand is not competent to manage such a large enterprise as Christmas and should not be allowed to continue.
Oh, but Your Honor...
Order. Does the defense wish to cross-examine?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Claus, you may step down. Mr. Prosecutor.
Your Honor, the prosecution now calls little Timmy Smith to the stand.
Order!
Now, Timmy, before last Christmas, did you try to be a good little boy?
Oh, yes, sir. I always try to be good all the year long.
Of course you do. Now, would you tell the court what happened after you saw Santa at the department store?
Mummy and I walked 14 miles in the snow back to our little hovel. And I just knew in my heart of hearts that Santa would bring me my toy truck for Christmas. I could hardly wait until Christmas morning. When the day finally came, I rushed downstairs, and there was one box under our tiny, mangy little Christmas tree.
And how was that box addressed, Timmy?
It was addressed to Timmy Smith from Santa Claus.
The prosecution submits the package labeled in question as evidence exhibit A. Please continue.
I opened the present as fast as my thin, emaciated little fingers could rip through the paper. And when it was finally open, I saw underwear.
Underwear! Promised a toy truck, Your Honor, and given underwear.
Yes, cheap Egyptian underwear. Fruit of the tomb.
Yes, go on.
I cried so hard, I thought my little eyes would pop out. Mummy came in to see what was the matter, and after I stopped crying, she told me that I shouldn't let Santa get away with it. And that's when we called you.
I understand. Poor lad. Poor lad. Your Honor, it is beyond my humble abilities to add anything to what has just been said so eloquently by the plaintiff. The prosecution rests.
I agree, Mr. Prosecutor. Does the defense wish to cross-examine?
No questions, Your Honor.
Very well. We will take a 5-minute recess before defense presents its case.
Well, Darrence, how does it look?
Not good, Santa. Did you see the eyes on that kid? The only thing that could be worse is if a bushel of puppies testified against you.
Have you seen Stella? She said she would be back in time for the trial.
I haven't seen her. Wait, isn't that her coming now?
Sam, how's the trial going?
Stella, where have you been?
I came as soon as I could. The deliveries took a little longer than I thought.
Longer? Why?
We had a little problem. Don't worry about it now. We'll deal with it after the trial.
Oh, great. Something to look forward to.
So how's the trial been going? How do things look?
That's cheerful Charlie here.
It doesn't look good, Stella. That little rugrat has the judge wrapped around his little finger.
What about Prankin and Fisbin?
What about him?
Well, they were going to investigate that kid and his lawyer and try to find some evidence to get you off.
Well, we haven't seen either of them.
I don't understand. They can travel by magic. They should have been back long ago.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. The municipal court of the North Pole is back in session. All rise.
Oh, yeah.
Be seated. Attorney for the defense, are you prepared to present your case?
Your Honor, in view of the preceding testimony, the defense has no alternative but to throw itself upon the mercy of the...
Your Honor, the defense has new evidence to present.
And who are you two?
We're Fisbin and Prankin, two of Santa's elves.
Oh, this is highly irregular.
But, Your Honor, we have new evidence that will prove Santa's innocence.
Well, all right. Approach the bench.
Your Honor, this piece of paper was obtained from the plaintiff's attorney. It is a list written in the plaintiff's own hand of the actors that were hired as witnesses by the plaintiff for the sole purpose of discrediting Santa Claus at this trial.
And that's not all, Your Honor. We also found out that little Timmy Smith is, in reality, Lawyer Vanderbilt's own son.
Oh my God!
Order! Order, or I will have this courtroom cleared. But why go to all this trouble to discredit Santa?
It was all part of their scheme to take over Santa's workshop. Once they were in control, they could charge whatever they wanted for all the Christmas toys.
Despicable.
Order! This is monstrous. Mr. Vanderbilt, how do you respond to these accusations?
Well, they're just a bogus tissue of lies, Your Honor.
And another thing, Your Honor, as this other paper shows, little Timmy Smith, or Eustace Rothschild Vanderbilt III, as he is really known, recently had his nose job to Bob his Beezer.
A nose job? Why?
He got his schnoz trimmed so that he would no longer have the distinctive Vanderbilt nose. That way, he wouldn't be recognized as Lawyer Vanderbilt's son when they perpetrated this hoax.
Well, Mr. Vanderbilt?
You bonehead! I told you to keep those papers in the safe!
Well, this completely changes things. Case dismissed. And bailiff, please detain Mr. Vanderbilt and his son pending their arraignment for fraud.
Hooray!
Oh, boy, it's good to be home. That was a little too close for comfort.
Put your feet up, Sam, and relax.
We're glad you're off the hook, Santa.
That reminds me, what took you two so long to get back?
Well,
Tell her pranking.
Well, Mrs. C, there's this really good coffee shop in Richville. After we got the evidence, we stopped in for a mochaccino latte. It was so good. We had another, and then another, and before we knew it, we had 8. That's when we rushed back to the courtroom.
Oh, thanks for squeezing me into your busy schedule.
Now, Sam, they made it in time. All's well that ends well, you know.
I suppose so. Now I could rest up for next Christmas.
That's something I wanted to talk to you about, Sam. I had a real good time doing the deliveries, and I think I'd like to do it again next year.
What? You make the deliveries? And what am I supposed to do?
You can still manage the workshop, and you know, baking gingerbread is a lot more fun than it looks.
It would have to be. I don't know about this, Stella.
Oh, take it easy, Sam. Remember your blood pressure. Maybe we can trade off, and I can deliver every other year. Anyway, we've got all year to talk it over.
You know, I don't think I'm going to like this. I don't think I'm going to like this at all.
You've been listening to Santa Suit, written and directed by Tim Eschelbach, with sound engineering by Leonard Babs of Sound Solutions and Nick Moorhead of Kalamazoo Recording. The music was adapted by Hal Hobson Morris and performed by Linda Havens and Hal Hobson Morris. Sound effects were performed by Gary Brown and Martin Birch. This nonprofit performance was performed at the First Baptist Church, KNAC, and is copyrighted by All Ears Theater, with all of the rights reserved by the author. Any resemblance to persons living or dead, or characters' names, places, or incidents is purely coincidental. This is your announcer, Glynis Fenn, thanking you for listening. And on behalf of all of us at All Ears Theater, we wish you a wonderful holiday season.